Yeah, I wanted to follow up with another video about a conversation that I had with an old friend today. It was via email, and she was basically saying, that the mayor in her town knows what's going on but doesn't do anything about it. And that's exactly right. They don't. They don't do anything about it. It's amazing how these people turn a blind eye to the corruption that actually goes on. Okay? And I'm not a hellraiser. I'm not the kind of person that, wants to stir up trouble on my own business. And like I said, it's becoming a crime to mind your own business these days. It really is. It's like people find that offensive, if you're not out mingling with a bunch of people that are going to eventually stab you in the back, the moral standards are just so low. It's so low that it's shocking to me, okay? It is. It just continually traumatizes me on a daily basis when I think of how people behave and the way that they act, I have never, ever behaved in any way that would generate this sort of behavior in people. Never. So all of it is a reflection on them, every single last person. Everything I've done, when I was at work, I was always into my job. My job, obviously, when you're a woman of color, or any person of color, really, for that matter, you can't get away with the things that other people do. And you know it, okay? That means I always showed up on work at time. I did my work, I did my work as accurate as I possibly could. I turned in things on time, most of the time earlier than it was actually supposed to be turned in. I followed everything by the book, that you have to work in a way that nobody can ever say anything bad about you, Yet I see, which is obvious, you got people who are literally breaking laws in front of other people's faces. Just wide out in the open, okay? And they get away with it, And I'm really, seriously, people, I feel sorry for the younger generation because this is what they have to step out into, They have to step out into this world that has no scruples, no morals, no sense of right and wrong. If you're good at your job, somehow you find yourself sitting at home twiddling your thumbs, and you got all these ignorant people running all kinds of businesses, and in charge of things where they don't deserve it, and it's quite eye-opening. It's quite eye-opening to see how the world really works. I made several pleas to the mayor at this town. The one who I'm referring to, Harvey Hall. He just sat there like, he had something, nothing, what was going on in his town was a fucking crime, okay? But then, this is a town that pretty much thrives in this sort of stuff. And that's just how it is. This is the lifestyle of these people. My goody two-shoe behavior is just too much for them. You know what I mean? Insane. It just really is. It's insane. It's just jaw-dropping. It really is. Corrupt. Fucking corrupt, and like I said, I'm not somebody who is just so goody two shoes and I've never done anything wrong, but this sort of stuff is just like I can't believe this stuff goes on. I can't. It's so hard for me to even accept it. It's like it's mind-boggling. So when I think of this whole thing, the whole experience thing really got me thinking. It really got me thinking, because there's a lot of people's personal information that's just sitting there out there. You know what I mean? They're just sitting there floating out there, and like I said, there's nothing safe. It's like people don't think about what they're doing anymore. Or if they ever did. I don't know what to think anymore. It just, I seriously, this traumatizes me in so many ways you can't even believe it. You can't even understand or comprehend how blown my mind is. My mind is completely blown. You know what I mean? So when I heard about that story about the Experian credit file, files just like being all over the place, I kept thinking, God, that's crazy. That's something that should have never happened. Exactly what is happened in that company for that to happen? Obviously that should have never happened. You know what I mean? That's too big of a slip up. But these little slip-ups are just fucking everywhere, you know? And I just, god damn. Yeah, everything right now is making me think of gang stalking. You know what I mean? Everything about every sort of thing kind of relates to the situation in my mind, okay? And I see a correlation between that bullshit and what goes on in these companies, especially like these major employment agencies that I have a lot of complaints about, you know, because these employment agencies are like, what do you call it, exchange houses for this sort of corruption. This is what they do. They thrive on this sort of shit. These companies are fucking corrupt, and I'm going to encourage all the targeted individuals to avoid these companies. And if you're not a targeted individual, if you don't want to end up on some weird list, you know, or be manipulated and be a part of this targeting program, you need to avoid these companies. Don't trust employment agencies because they're corrupt. They can easily be manipulated. Easily. That's exactly what they do. And, you know, I don't want to be the kind of person that wants to raise hell. I mean, I have never. But you're in this situation. If you ever have been in this situation, you have absolutely no choice but to talk about it. They have put me in a position that all I can do is sit here and think about it. You know what I mean? I think about these people smiling in my face at work, and these people basically have knives in their back. I mean, they want to just gouge a knife into my back. They're hiding it behind themselves, just waiting to attack me. You know what I mean? These smiling faces, like that old song, you know. They're the corruption. I mean, the evil behavior of these people. Quick to persecute somebody for shit that they want to do. You know what I mean? You got these slutty, trashy women, you know. Really, I mean, it's always the people who accuse you of stuff who are the ones who are doing it. You know what I mean? I've been a hard-working woman since I stepped into this town. That's the damn truth. Okay, I have worked my ass off for almost. I've been here since what, 2001? Maybe 2000. Okay, so this is like 17 years. For 17 years, I have worked my ass off, okay? I have worked my ass off and did the best job I possibly could. Rarely called in sick from work. To work. Me being sick to work now is kind of a phenomenon, or kind of a new thing, because I was literally run down by the gang stalking. Literally sick of all the stalking, the harassment, the bullshit. So this is a fairly new thing, but I will tell you that there were times where I would go to work when I had a splitting headache. That's the damn truth. I mean, I did everything I could to keep a roof over my fucking head. You know? And this is the sort of shit that you get in return for doing everything right. It's just absolutely crazy. You know, it's absolutely crazy. And I think about the people who are younger than me, who are, you know, trying to step out into the world, and people don't realize how fucking dangerous it is. You know what I mean? Now, people really can't say anything about me. They can't say shit about me. Okay? They could say I lied to my husband. They could say that I don't want to be a part of their retarded cult. They could say that there was some gossip on Facebook. Okay? But there's nothing incriminating you have against me. Okay? But let's just say, for example, somebody has some little altercation with somebody over something minor. Okay, we're talking about some kid who might be about 18, anywhere from 18 to 20 years old, does something. His life could be fucked over for life. Okay, because this system, this program, operates in this way. Okay, it's just like a bunch of corrupt people sitting behind computers and organizing and structuring somebody's life, or to try to destroy someone's life, is basically what it is. Okay, and I'm serious. This is a time in this day and age where you really have to be careful about your social interactions. Okay, so I would like somebody to try to say something about me. I really would. I would love for somebody to say something bullshit, some bullshit about me, because they can't. They can't. Okay, they can't. They have nothing to say about me at all. Not one goddamn thing. You're going to bring up some bullshit in the past about me having a child. And here's the bullshit about fucking fundamentalist Christians. This is some bullshit about them. They will sit there and picket like abortion clinics talking about how terrible it is for you to raise your child, to abort your child, and you're supposed to give life. Okay, so then you give life to a child, right? You try to do the responsible thing, and guess what? These people want to sit here and fucking make you miserable for the rest of your goddamn life over it. Okay? Fuck yeah, those fucking people are fake. I can't stand those goddamn people. And like I said, I have nothing against Christianity, but you'll find very few people who truly walk in that path. Okay? Most of these people are just nothing but corrupt pieces of shit, and that's the goddamn truth. You know, it's just eye-opening to find out how the world really works.